Holy shit! In case you haven't gathered, this is episode 3's review for Daredevil, season 1. 2013. First time watching, by the way. Dude, the ending of this episode. They're setting up certain characters to be really big and threatening. I hope they do this particular character justice, because from what I remember in the comic books, he's pretty damn serious and is seriously scary as all and the beginning of the episode was phenomenal. I like the beginning of the episode. The mid segment stories and whatever were really good. Because for some of those who don't know, most TV shows, especially superhero genre shows, they'll have one main story for that episode, but then they'll have like maybe one or two other side plots that kind of go their own separate ways and kind of go do their own thing, just to keep the show kind of fluid and fresh and whatnot. So the two side plots, the side plots of this episode were really well done. I haven't been talking about the side plots in the other two episodes because the last episode was kind of, it had its own side plot as a flashback, but then the real episode was still the real thing. And then the first episode really didn't have a whole lot of other side plots because it was trying to just keep going and get that story established. But this episode definitely had one story and another story as the main story. But really, really good side plots. So far. Acting, again, top good acting. Special effects, especially the practical ones. I love practical effects in shows and movies because it's something you can touch. It is something that you can visually interact with. I don't have a problem with CGI if it's good. If it's bad CGI, then it's bad. That's why I never understood why people were so pissed when, the first episode for She-Hulk the She-Hulk trailer came up, because it was like teasing, or the CGI wasn't finished and people were like slamming it, like, oh, the CGI looks like crap. It's uncanny. Shut up, okay? If it's real enough, if it's believable, okay, fine. If it is slightly jarring, who cares? It's a freaking animated shit in a live-action world. It's gonna look a little off depending on how you do it. So, yes, I'll admit good CGI is better, but I prefer practical effects. I grew up watching movies that had tons of practical effects. Therefore, it just kind of made me believe that that's how movies should be made. And I 100% agree. That's how movies and TV shows should be made. Even though practical effects, especially nowadays, are extremely expensive to do and very painful to do sometimes, because especially if it's like a horror movie or certain elements like Jurassic Park. For those of you who don't know, some of the Jurassic Park dinosaurs were practical effects. They were big animatronic puppets and whatever. That's a practical effect. The Chucky doll is a practical effect. Both versions of the Chucky doll are practical effects. Very rarely have they ever used CGI for Chucky, which is great. That's one of the reasons why I love those franchises, because they know how to use practical effects and when to use CGI. This show is the same way. I could very, very, very rarely tell when something was CGI and when something was a practical effect, which is a really good way because they walk that line so carefully. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. The story that they chose for this particular episode, I thought was really well done. Like I said, there are two different stories, and the stories don't feel lackluster. The show has a really good pace, and that's another thing. The pacing of the show is really well done. Some shows, especially the new Disney Plus Marvel shows, which, not complaining, I haven't seen all of them yet. I saw Moon Knight, I've seen She-Hulk, I eventually saw WandaVision. Have not seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier yet. I've seen I Am Groot. I haven't watched Hawkeye yet. And I refuse to watch Miss Marvel because that just looks dumb as is. And I never cared for Miss Marvel because I just thought it was a really stupid character. But that's just me. Nothing against race or sexualities or whatever, or gender, whatever. I never liked Kamala Khan as a character. I thought she was a really stupid addition to the Avengers, and her power set is just dumb, because it's just Mr. Fantastic, except as a woman. Which is fine, again, it's not about gender, it's not about race, I just don't like the character. It's the same thing with Miles Morales. I don't like Miles Morales as a character, not because he's a black Spider-Man, but because it's just a less, and to me, he's just a less entertaining version of Spider-Man. It's Peter Parker without Peter Parker. It's stupid. Yeah, I know. I don't like Miles Morales as a character, not because of race, not because of gender, none of that crap. It's just I don't like that character. I'm old school, okay, to a point, which is kind of sad because I'm only 21. But anyway, again, this episode had really good. Had a really good momentum, had a really good feel. The overall, the fight choreography. I cannot give the fight choreography enough credit. I don't know who the person was in charge of the fight choreography in these films, or in this. I keep saying movies or films, whatever. In these episodes, really well done, because Charlie Cox is doing a great job. Me and my brother have been watching the show together, and we're both saying, like, we wonder how hard it is for Charlie Cox not to move his eyes with certain places. Like in the last episode, somebody shines a light over his eyes to see if his eyes are responsive, and I wonder how many takes they had to do with that scene to make sure that he didn't do anything, unless that was a practical effect, which the eye wouldn't move. Or if it was like a practical dummy, and then there was, the eye would obviously not move. But most likely that was actually Charlie Cox just acting really, really well. I'm sorry, I'm still bamboozled by the ending of this episode. Like, I know I've been going into more depths about, like, how some backstories and whatever for the shows and CGI and whatnot, but like when the actual ending of this show caught me off guard, or the ending of this episode caught me off guard. I kind of saw, cause I saw them when they were teasing about it, but like as soon as they go like full throttle to it, like I said, they are building up a certain character in this show, and if this character is anything, or this actor is going to portray this character, or this show is going to portray this character like anything from the comic books, that is a force to be reckoned with. And they are building up this character big time. And if it's not, I really hope they're going to do this character right, because I'm not a big fan of this character, but I know enough about him to be like, okay, yeah, this is definitely somebody I would not want to piss off, because no, I just wouldn't want to do it. But like, that's the kind of character this character's supposed to be. It's kind of like, this is again a bad example, my version of Metalhead. That's the kind of character you don't want to mess with, because you will either wind up dead or wishing you were dead. That's the kind of energy I'm feeling with this, I'm supposed to be feeling for this character, and the way they're building it up and teasing it is making me feel that. So hopefully this character can live up to that expectation, but you do meet the character in this episode, and I will say this ahead of time, I don't mind the actor playing this character. I think he's doing a really well, so far, there's only one episode, so far he's doing a fairly decent job. My only gripe is, I wish they made him bigger. But this man is also like, 6'3", 6'4" already. So But I wish they made him like bulkier, not taller. So, not so tall that it looks stupid like Into the Spider-Verse. Because I know some of you guys like that movie. I do not. I thought Into the Spider-Verse was a really stupid movie to begin with. The animation style just looked really stupid. And to me, the Spider-Verse has been done way too many times. Do the Deadpool verse. Do the Deadpool Corp. You know, you don't have to do just Spider-Man. But I get Spider-Man sells a lot of toys, and he's, you know, I get why they do it. I don't think, to me, it was the story and the animation. I hated the story. The story just didn't make any sense. And again, not a big fan of Miles Morales. So, that was another gripe. But anyway, wrong movie, wrong universe, wrong shit. The ending of this episode really left me with a cliffhanger like, God dang, man. It's like, I know this is supposed to lead somewhere, and this character is supposed to be a big threat, but at the same time, it's like, just show me more. It's like, that's the kind of energy I'm getting off of this episode. Like, it's not like the Disney Plus shows that Marvel do. They build up all this stuff, and then like at the last episode, they reveal everything, which is something I'm hoping She-Hulk doesn't do. But WandaVision did that. Moon Knight somehow accidentally did that as well, and it looks like She-Hulk's going to do the same thing. But I have also heard that Kevin Feige is actually going to fix everything that fans were complaining about through Phase 4. And I'll do a whole separate video on this later. Or if it's in the future, this is already up by now, but you get the point. Or that'll already be up. But anyway. Again, really like this episode. The ending completely caught me off guard. The fight choreography is good. The CGI is really good. The story's overall really good. I'm enjoying the show so far. And I cannot wait to see where it goes. So thank you guys so much for watching. I know this episode was a little bit, well, I know this video on this episode was longer than the last two, but that's just because yeah. Anyway. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am still befuddled right now, so anyway, I will catch you guys all on the next episode, or episode 4, coming out tomorrow. Well, video coming out tomorrow. You get the point. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys all later. Bye.